The neon lights of Radiant Fire Assembly blazed against the dark sky like a nightclub dropped into the heart of Nuruma town. Women in glittering mini-dresses strutted up the church's catwalk aisle while cameras flashed and phones recorded every angle. This wasn't Sunday worship, this was a fashion parade wrapped in prayer. "Turn around, sister. Let me see the back." An usher with perfectly drawn eyebrows waved her manicured hand at a nervous girl trying to enter. "Those heels are too low. You need at least 4 inches to join the choir." The girl's face crumpled. She turned and walked away. Inside the packed hall, Pastor Kendrick Mbiu stood at the golden pulpit, his maroon suit catching every spotlight. His gold wristwatch gleamed as he raised both hands. "When you shine, heaven shines with you." His voice boomed through expensive speakers. "God loves beauty. God loves excellence. Don't let anyone dim your radiance." The congregation erupted. Girls jumped and screamed, their glossy lips reflecting the colored lights. Men in the back row leaned forward, eyes hungry, clearly not there for the sermon. Outside, under the ancient baobab tree at the edge of town, 3 old men sat on wooden stools. Their faces were hard with worry. Elder Zamani spoke first, his voice soft but firm. "My granddaughter came home yesterday wearing a dress shorter than my palm. She said it's the church uniform." Elder Tavaso slammed his walking stick into the dirt. "Church uniform? What madness is this?" Elder Monta, the oldest of the 3, shook his grey head. "That place is not a church. It's a trap. I saw it in my dreams, something dark is moving behind those bright lights. Then we must speak to this pastor." Zamani stood up, his joints cracking. "Today." They found Pastor Kendrick outside the church building an hour later, polishing his already spotless shoes. His face was smooth, unbothered, almost bored. "Pastor Kendrick." Elder Zamani stepped forward. "We need to talk about what is happening here." Kendrick didn't look up. "I'm listening. The way these girls dress, it's not decent. It's not godly. You're leading them astray." Now Kendrick raised his head. His eyes were cold, empty. "Is that all?" Elder Tavaso's voice rose. "Young man, do you have no respect? We are your elders. And I am a man of God." Kendrick's smile didn't reach his eyes. "If you don't like my ministry, start your own church. Better yet, go back to your boring worship and leave me alone." The elders stood frozen. No young man in Nuruma had ever spoken to them this way. Elder Monta's voice trembled. "You will regret this. Pride comes before destruction." Kendrick laughed and walked away, his shoes clicking on the concrete. If you're feeling the tension already, hit that subscribe button, this story is about to get darker. 2 days later, Ngozi Yua stood at the gates of Radiant Fire Assembly. She wore a long floral gown that reached her ankles, a simple scarf around her shoulders, and flat brown sandals. Her face was free of makeup, just clean, honest, ready to worship. "Excuse me." She smiled at the usher blocking the entrance. "I'm here for service." The usher looked her up and down, then burst out laughing. "Sister, are you serious?" Ngozi's smile faded. "I don't understand." Another usher joined in, her voice dripping with mockery. "You look like a matron from the village. This place is for fine girls. Girls with style. Girls with class. But it's a church. It's our church." The first usher crossed her arms. "And you don't fit. Try the old mission church down the road. They'll accept anything." Ngozi stood there, humiliation burning through her chest. People walking past stared and whispered. She wanted to cry, to scream, to demand they let her in. But instead, she turned quietly and walked away, her sandals raising small clouds of dust. She didn't know it yet, but her rejection would become the first crack in Radiant Fire's shining walls. But Pastor Kendrick Bill wasn't always this cold. 7 years ago, he was someone completely different. Brother Kendrick stood in the small prayer room of Gracemount Chapel, sweat dripping down his face. He had been fasting for 3 days. His Bible was worn from constant reading. His knees had permanent marks from kneeling on hard floors. Brother Kendrick. Pastor Emmanuel, the head minister, poked his head through the door. "You're teaching the youth class in 10 minutes. "Yes, sir." Kendrick wiped his face with a towel. "I'm ready." The youth loved him. He was strict but fair. He preached holiness without compromise. When girls came to church in tight clothes, he would gently pull them aside and explain why modesty mattered. When boys brought worldly music, he would sit with them for hours, teaching them the difference between entertainment and worship. "He's too serious," some people whispered. "He needs to relax." But Kendrick never relaxed. He believed God demanded everything. Then Salma Dogo joined the choir. She was radiant, skin like polished mahogany, voice smooth as honey, confidence that filled every room she entered. She sang with her eyes closed, hands raised, body swaying. Men watched her. Women envied her. And she knew it. Brother Kendrick. She appeared at his office door one afternoon, holding a covered plate. "I made jollof rice. I thought you might be hungry." Kendrick barely looked up from his Bible. "Thank you, Sister Salma. You can leave it on the table." She didn't leave. "You're always studying. Don't you ever rest? God's work doesn't rest." She laughed, a soft, musical sound. "Even Jesus took breaks. Is there something else you need?" His tone was polite but distant. Her smile faded slightly. "No. Enjoy the food." But she came back. Again and again. Drop a comment below if you've ever seen someone chase what they can't have. This doesn't end well. "Brother Kendrick, can we talk? I'm struggling with something personal." "Brother Kendrick. I made your favorite, pounded yam and egusi soup." "Brother Kendrick, you're the only one who really understands the Bible." He kept his distance. He was kind but firm. Professional. Guarded. One Wednesday afternoon, the church was empty. Kendrick sat in his small office reviewing sermon notes. The door opened. Salma walked in wearing a fitted red dress that hugged every curve. Her perfume filled the room instantly, thick, sweet, overwhelming. Her hair was loose, cascading over her shoulders. "Salma." Kendrick stood up. "I didn't hear you knock." The door was open. She closed it behind her. Slowly. "I wanted to talk to you. Alone." "About what?" She stepped closer. Her voice dropped to a whisper. "About us." "There is no us." He moved behind his desk, putting distance between them. "You're a church member. I'm a minister. That's all. Is it?" Her eyes glistened. "I've watched you for months, Kendrick. You pray, you fast, you serve, but you never leave. You're too spiritual to notice when someone loves you." His heart pounded. "Salma, this is inappropriate. Please leave. Just once." She moved around the desk. "Just once, stop being Brother Kendrick and be a man." "Salma." She touched his shoulder. Her hand was warm. Her face was inches from his. Everything in him screamed to run. Instead, he gently took her hand and removed it. "I respect you too much to do this." Her face twisted. Then she kissed him, hard, sudden, desperate. He pushed her back, shock and anger exploding through him. "What are you doing?" Salma stumbled backward. For a moment, her eyes were wild, humiliated, furious. Then something changed. Her face crumpled. Tears appeared. And she ran. She burst through the church doors screaming, "Help! Somebody help me!" People came running from every direction. The gateman. The cleaner. 2 deacons preparing for evening service. What happened? Salma sobbed, her whole body shaking. "Brother Kendrick, he tried to force me. I went to his office for counseling and he grabbed me." The world stopped. Within minutes, the entire church leadership surrounded Kendrick's office. Phones were out, recording everything. Women gasped and covered their mouths. Men shouted accusations. "How could you? We trusted you." "This is why we don't leave young women alone with ministers." Kendrick stood frozen, his face pale. "That's not what happened. She came on to me. I rejected her." Salma wailed louder. "He's lying. He's trying to protect himself." "Why would she lie?" someone shouted. "He always acted so holy, I knew it was fake." "Hypocrite." Pastor Emmanuel pushed through the crowd. His face was hard. "Brother Kendrick, pack your things. You're dismissed. Effective immediately." "Pastor, please, let me explain." "There's nothing to explain. We have a witness. We have her tears. And we have your reputation, which clearly meant nothing. If your heart is racing right now, smash that like button, because this betrayal is about to birth something evil." Kendrick left Gracemont Chapel that evening with one bag and a shattered soul. No one said goodbye. No one asked his side. The videos were already circulating online. Pastor exposed for sexual assault. Holy man caught trying to rape choir member. His phone exploded with messages, threats, insults, mockery. His family stopped answering his calls. His friends blocked him. He wandered from town to town, sleeping in bus stations, eating from garbage bins, drinking cheap alcohol to numb the pain. One night, he stumbled along a deserted road outside Nurume town. The moon was hidden. The air was thick and still. Then he saw him. A man in a black shimmering suit stood in the middle of the road. His shoes were spotless despite the dust. His smile was too wide, too knowing. "Pastor Kendrick." The stranger's voice was smooth, almost hypnotic. "I've been waiting for you." Kendrick blinked, his vision blurred from alcohol. "Who are you?" "Someone who knows what they did to you." The man stepped closer. "Someone who sees the injustice. The betrayal. The lies. Everyone sees it. No one cares. But I care." The stranger's eyes gleamed in the darkness. "I can give you what you lost. Respect. Power. A church that will never reject you." Kendrick laughed bitterly. "I'm done with churches. Not that kind of church." The stranger circled him slowly. "A new kind. A church where beauty is worship. Where appearance matters. Where you control everything. Where no woman will ever humiliate you again." Something in those words pulled at Kendrick's broken heart. "How?" The stranger leaned in close. His breath was cold. "Just say yes." Kendrick hesitated. Every instinct screamed danger. But the pain was too deep. The anger too strong. "No." He stepped back. "I don't know who you are, but I won't." The stranger's eyes flashed red, bright as burning coals. The wind roared suddenly though the trees stood still. The temperature dropped. Kendrick's breath came out in visible clouds. Then remained forgotten. The stranger's voice echoed, multiplied, inhuman. "Remain broken. Remain alone." He vanished. No footsteps. No movement. Just gone. Kendrick collapsed to his knees, gasping. Something cold wrapped around his chest, invisible but suffocating. It squeezed once, twice, then sank inside him like water into soil. When he stood up minutes later, his eyes were different. Harder. Darker. Empty. 6 months later, Radiant Fire Assembly opened its neon doors in Nurumetown. Girls flocked there in waves, dazzling dresses and glossy makeup. Pastor Kendrick Bill preached with charisma and power. You are queens. You are royalty. Shine for the Lord. Videos went viral. Offerings poured in. The church grew bigger every week. But small, strange things began happening. During praise worship, 3 girls fainted at once, no explanation. The air inside the church grew colder during sermons, even with windows open. One usher swore she saw Pastor Kendrick's shadow move separately from his body. Another claimed his voice sometimes sounded doubled, like 2 people speaking at once. Perfumes turned sour during prayer, thick and rotten. A girl collapsed near the altar, screaming, "Something pulled me. Something touched me." And Kendrick's reflection, always a second behind. Elder Monta had nightmares. In them, he saw the church wrapped in chains of light, bright but binding. He saw girls dancing, but their feet never touched the ground. He saw Kendrick preaching with something dark standing behind him, whispering in his ear. "We must do something," he told the other elders. Then Ngozi Yua came forward. She stood in the town square one Sunday morning, her voice steady and clear. "They turned me away from that church because of how I dressed. They mocked me. They said I wasn't good enough. What kind of church rejects people trying to worship God?" Her story spread fast. People started questioning. Parents pulled their daughters out. Men stopped attending. The elders met again under the baobab tree. "Something is very wrong with that place," Zamani said quietly. "I feel it in my spirit." "We all do." Monta stared toward the church. "That pastor made a deal. With something. Someone. Then what do we do?" Before anyone could answer, the wind picked up. Not natural. Too focused. Too cold. In his church office, Pastor Kendrick stood before a full-length mirror. His reflection stared back, but it smiled before he did. Its eyes glowed faintly red. "They're coming for you," the reflection whispered. Kendrick's face remained blank. "Let them come. You know what happens if they expose the truth. They won't." "Are you sure?" The reflection tilted its head. "Salma is in town." Kendrick's hands clenched into fists. "She's been asking questions. Telling people she lied. Trying to confess. Then stop her." The reflection grinned wider. "With pleasure." That night, Salma Dogo checked into a small guest house on the edge of Nuruma. She couldn't sleep. Guilt had been eating her alive for years. She had destroyed an innocent man. She had to make it right. She picked up her phone and started typing a confession to post online. The lights flickered. She looked up. The room was freezing. Her breath came out in clouds. The window was closed. Then she saw it, a shadow in the corner, darker than the surrounding darkness. It moved. Slowly. Toward her. Salma opened her mouth to scream. The screen went black. To be continued. If you made it this far, you're part of something dark and powerful. Subscribe now because part 2 will reveal what happened to Salma, who the stranger really was, and whether Pastor Kendrick can ever be saved. Drop a comment with your theory. Is he possessed or just broken? Hit that like button if this story gave you chills, and share it with someone who loves supernatural mysteries. This is only the beginning.